SUVs have become so popular, it's no surprise that Mini is following the trend. The automaker has decided to put an SUV crossover version of its cult car on the market, the Countryman. But this car is about more than just following the pack. Mini's community of fans have been looking forward to the car for months. Hans-Joachim Leonhardt from Mini says the car maker is aware that there are more people around the world who would drive a Mini, but their needs are not satisfied by the car's current design. He says that with that in mind, Mini decided to build a car fulfilling more customer requirements. But at the same time, the car has remained true to the spirit of the Mini brand. The Countryman's body is completely new, and at 4 meters, this is the longest Mini ever. The styling at the front of the car is typical Mini with big, wide-eyed headlights. The wing mirrors also follow the big and round theme. Thanks to its raised chassis and big wheel wells, the Mini Countryman looks taller than its siblings. Also new is the car's 4-wheel drive. It's electronically controlled to engage or disengage as needed, something the driver hardly ever notices. We tested the most powerful gasoline version of the Countryman, the Mini Cooper S, with 184 horsepower and 4-wheel drive. It weighs just under 1.5 tons, but despite its size, the Mini Countryman's performance is impressive. With a top speed of 205 kilometers per hour, it can reach 100 kilometers per hour in 8.3 seconds. As regards driving comfort, the Countryman lives up to its Mini driver's expectations. Leonard says the typical Mini go-kart feeling has been raised to another level. The car is a little larger and it's a little heavier, yet it's just as fun to drive because the longer wheelbase and wider wheel track compensate for the bigger size. That feeling is also increased through the greater comfort, but it retains the typical responsiveness that Mini customers expect. The Countryman also performs well off-road. Its 4-wheel drive responds well to conditions, but is the Mini Countryman a true SUV? The answer is not quite. Mini wants its Countryman car to be seen as a crossover vehicle, something between a sporty Mini and an off-roader. The crossover symbolizes the Countryman's ability to be used in every situation it may come across, says Leonard. The car can be driven in normal conditions for recreational activities, it has space for 4 people, and has a large trunk in the back. So the crossover designation symbolizes universal application. Thanks to the big trunk door, loading and unloading bulky objects like surfing equipment is a snap. The Countryman comes with 4 doors. There's a touch of elegance to the interior, and once again the round theme is continued with everything either circular or at least oval in shape. The Countryman is also up to date when it comes to electronic features. It has a docking station for telecommunications, which means you can use your mobile phone inside the Countryman without signal dropout. A display lights up in the speedometer when the mobile phone is logged into the car. Mini chose something new for the rear seating. Not only can the seats be individually moved forward and backwards, storage compartments, such as a container for sunglasses, also move along a rail. Many thinks the countryman will affect our sales volume, says Leonard. The U.S. is the largest market, followed by Britain, then Germany, and then Italy. Those are the 4 largest markets, and Mini will be offering the countryman in almost all markets globally. Leonard believes it's set to be very important in emerging markets in Eastern Europe or in China.
Märkten wie Osteuropa oder China hat es eine erhebliche Bedeutung auch für die Zukunft.
The countryman shows that cult status is not enough if a car wants to have a long-term future. Automakers have to change with the times and explore new paths. Futuria Sport and Spa. That's the name of a new kind of luxury mobile home that's made in Germany. Based near Nuremberg, the Most company produces this custom-made vehicle according to its clients' wishes. And when it comes to luxury, the sky's the limit. There's still a lot that can be done, Gunther Hofbauer says, noting that they didn't want to overdo it. He says this is just a prototype, one that's supposed to make people ooh and ah. He aims to show things no one else has. The interior is spacious and luxurious. The seating in the lounge is done in a leather look with red trimming. On the way upstairs, you pass by the spacious bedroom. The crowning jewel, a whirlpool, is found on the roof. And the teak sun deck is the perfect place to catch some rays. The luxury mobile home even has an integrated garage. It offers enough room for a sports car, which can conveniently be loaded via a ramp. The flap door makes it easy to access, and even more living space is available on request. Normally, it's 2.5 meters, with 11 to 13 meters for the semi-trailer, he says. Those who want more room can install modules so a space 6 to 8 meters long and 2 meters deep comes out on both sides. Hofbauer says it adds almost 50 square meters of space. In theory, a rooftop terrace could be added too. The vehicle is powered by a 3-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine with 170 horsepower. The first-generation Futurias will be limited to just 100 vehicles, sold worldwide. Such exclusivity and extravagance has its price. Depending on the extras, the price tag for this deluxe mobile home can exceed 650,000 euros. Renault has introduced a limited edition of its Clio, the Gordini RS. Its eye-catching metallic paintwork is a tribute to racing car engineer Amadei Gordini, who preferred the color blue. The Gordini gets up to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.9 seconds. French carmaker Peugeot has upgraded its 807 people carrier. The new version is available with a choice of 2 diesel motors that meet Euro 5 emission standards. The smaller engine uses just 6 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. 5 individual seats come as standard, with 8 seats an option. The Install Classic is a real test of both driver and machine, especially when temperatures are more than 30 degrees Celsius. She's feeling the heat, says Katharina Trierenberg. Naturally, she and her sister want to get up the mountains fast, but the curves are tight, and she really has to put her foot on the gas, which means the motor can get really hot. She says, like every year, their goal is to beat their father and finish in the first third, maybe even win the women's competition. And they're off to scale the 1,700-meter-high Stotterzinken mountain on a bright, sunny day. Timo Conrad says he's checked the oil, the water, and fed his co-pilot. So he's all set for the time trial. The The Stotterzinken features inclines of up to 15% and around 50 hairpin turns. All the classic cars in this gorgeous alpine setting is a feast for the eyes. During the time trial, drivers must meet prescribed target times. Each hundredth of a second difference results in 1 penalty point. But is driving classic cars strictly a hobby for the well-heeled? You don't have to be rich or born rich to get into it, says this driver. He knows that there are affordable cars too. It's just as much fun whether your vehicle's cheap or pricey, he says. The prologue of this year's Endstall Classic covered 337 kilometers. Drivers had to navigate the Hohe Tauern and the infamous Sold Pass before making it to the finish line in Grüppming. Luckily, there are a few gas stations en route, as not everyone has enough fuel on board. After around 130 kilometers, the sisters need to fill up. Katharina is relieved about the gas station because they were running low. They still have a 5-liter canister with them, so everything's fine. But, as usual, the weather severely tests the driver's skills. A storm comes up suddenly in the Nockberg Mountains. And then there's the Sold Pass, which is only open for 2 months a year. On this day, it seems particularly daunting, driving through rain, hailstorms, and lightning at almost 1,800 meters above sea level. Those with convertibles are soaking wet, cold, and in danger of being hit by lightning. So it's nice to at least have a roof over your head. By some miracle, most participants make it to the finish line, and their arrival in Grüppming is cause for celebration. The sisters only placed 186th overall, but they're happy nonetheless. Katharina says it was difficult because the windows kept steaming up and they often couldn't see. The windshield wipers on an old car like hers aren't the best anymore, so she found it a real challenge. But she says they did really well in the prologue, so they're pleased. Stephanie is thrilled and says she'll be back next year if her sister lets her come along for the ride. And she will.